Yes, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 1 of Bad Advice. This is going to be excellent. Alright, episode 1 of Bad Advice. Thank you so much for your involvement in this. The feedback has been amazing. There's been tons of questions put in. I didn't know if anybody had answered, but you guys have been enjoying me asking some strange and wonderful questions. My name is Connor Rhodes. I am professionally a nutritionist, a health and fitness style professional, and I do not claim to know much about much of anything else. Sometimes I feel like people incorrectly start to assume that I am intelligent because I know some things about some things, but that's when you only hear me listen when I'm talking in my own lane and in my own area of expertise. Everything else, it gets a little bit sketchy. Things can get a little bit wobbly. And frankly, I'm tired of giving excellent advice here on this page. I'm getting quite bored of it. I'm always giving out excellent advice, usually to do with nutrition, health and fitness, or weight loss and weight management, that kind of stuff. And I thought, let's mix it up a little bit, shall we? Why don't we ask some questions that are not health and fitness related? You guys have answered, you guys have chipped in and jumped in, so I'm going to answer not all of these questions because there's too many. But this is excellent news for me because this means we are going to be coming back with episode 2 after this. So if you like this video and you think it's a little bit different, or you think it's worth a listen to, or me creating, give us a little like, leave on comments, let me know what you think as well to some of this bad advice. Question 1, Becky Kriel asks, what is the best gin ever? This is easy, and I am biased. I'm going to be biased towards lots of different things throughout this series, and I am biased towards Sheffield, the place of my home, my homeland, some might say. There's a gin brewed in Sheffield by a small distillery. I made a video about it on this Slum Society Facebook page about me going to visit this gin distillery. It's called Sir Robin of Locksley. They make a raspberry and cardamom. It is my favourite gin ever in the history of Earth. I would also like to give an honourable shout out though to Malfy's Lemon. Malfy's Lemon, when drinking it, I actually asked, is this gin or is this gin liqueur? Because it's that strong tasting, even with a slimline. It's very refreshing. It's very strong lemon flavour. And you know me, I'm a fruity lady. So that was an easy one. Thank you. This is a harder question now. Leon Mantey asking excellent questions. Thank you so much. He says, if you could have 5 franchises in your dream, I think he means dream home. And I know this because he's asked me this before. He used to be my manager and he is the best person I've ever worked for. So thank you. He says, if you could have 5 franchises in your dream, let's assume home, what would they be? And now I'm going to say these in the order that they pop into my mind, not necessarily of importance. Franchises, this, I can only really think of, oh no, I can think of a couple of things. It's usually a food thing, isn't it? And food's the first thing that came to my mind. Not sure about you. First thing that pops into my mind is Subway sandwiches. I'm trying to think while we're doing this as well about what different types of franchises and what you can actually franchise, because a franchise is a business where you are allowed, if you've got enough money, to buy or rent sort of thing one of their stores, and then you, like McDonald's is one, I think it's £1 million, and you can have your own McDonald's, and then you obviously have to do their menu and stuff like that, but then you get a proportion of the profits and they also get a proportion of the profits and stuff like this. Subway, I eat a lot of sandwiches, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of sandwiches. I am a sandwich man. I'm a bread man. I am. Even as a nutritionist, different things work for different people. You know, when you eat food, some things bloat people and some things don't. Things do bloat me. I have IBS for some foods. No one really has IBS for every food, and there aren't many people that have IBS for no foods. Bread is one of the things that doesn't bloat me, and I'm just so happy about this. So I eat tons of bread. So that'd make my life easy. And some of you might be thinking, well, is that healthy? It's not bad, is it? As far as fast food goes, it's not bad on a Subway. I like the vegan meatball one, the normal meatball one. I also like getting chicken tikka and steak on the same sandwich, bit of salad and mayo and stuff like that. Get it whacked on there. It's not bad. The cookies are also excellent. Next, what I'm thinking is I like to try and go to the gym. I'm thinking I should get a gym franchise. I should definitely get, what gym? Anytime Fitness is one in this country, actually. Anytime Fitness. They've got a purple sign. There is one in Sheffield. If you're from there, which lots of followers to this page are, give us a like or a shout out if you're from Sheffield. It's on the fire station hill near Kelham Island, under, is it the Hampton by Hilton, near Marco's Italian, which may or may not still be there, I don't know. But I'd get a gym and I'd put that in my dream house. I'm not saying Anytime Fitness is the best gym. Leon Mantey asked this question from the gym group. They are probably the best. They're definitely the best to work for, and in terms of training there, they're excellent. If you're looking for a gym or a place to go, I would shout out the gym group. But I don't know if they're a franchise. I don't think they are. I don't think that's how it works. So Anytime Fitness definitely are, so I'll put a gym in there. My favourite place ever on earth to eat, even though it's quite unhealthy, is Heavenly Desserts. Have you ever seen this chain of restaurants? This is also a franchise. They do my favourite food ever on earth. It's the American waffle, and then you can do make your own, quote unquote, also known as they'll put whatever you want on top of it, essentially. And do you know what I want? All the things, actually, and thank you. I would like chocolate sauce on it. I also want Lotus Biscoff crumbs. Sometimes I also get white chocolate sauce on it. I also want brownies that have got caramel on top, put on top of that as well. Maybe one or two other things. I'll look at the menu, but I'm not even kidding. And then I want 2 scoops of Madagascar vanilla ice cream, and God, it's the best vanilla ice cream you'll ever have in your entire life. It's actually insane. It's one of those things where you taste it, you know some of these things, you taste it and you go, oh my God. You like stop and look around like other people are experiencing the same thing, and they are, because they also go there for a reason, because it's the goddamn best. The American waffle is the best. It's the best #1 thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. I do literally order the brownies and get those on top of it as well, and I will feel sick on the way out, and if I don't feel sick, I will be disappointed, because if we're eating dessert, we're going in, and it's the best place. Okay. The menu's fantastic. You should go. That is not my nutrition advice. Franchises then, what else? I'm going to have to choose something else healthy, aren't I? I'm probably going to have to go for Nando's. And now, I'm not really a massive Nando's man. I do go to Nando's. I've Nando'd in my time, okay? But I'm not the biggest Nando's fan. But every single day, I could get a full chicken. Couldn't I? I could just make my protein intake massive. Good night. And the chips are not bad as long as the chips are quite nice as long as they've paid attention to cooking them properly. And what I do instead is I buy the Nando's peri peri salt. It's available at most supermarkets. I make my own chips. I put such love and care and attention to them. I will watch them like it's a child in the womb. These chips, I'll be down kneeling by the oven every couple of minutes, looking at them, rotating. I'm going to make sure they're cooked perfectly. You don't even understand. You don't even understand how well I'm going to cook the chips. Okay, and then I'm going to get the Nando's peri peri salt, and I put some of that on, and then some normal salt, because I have so much salt that you probably wouldn't enjoy it, but you can salt your own chips. Okay, and I want the Nando's peri peri salt, but not for it not to burn my face off fully with all the spices. So I go some of that and some normal salt. Because have you ever been to Five Guys? Some people are like, it's too salty. It's great for me. I think I'm semi-immune to salt because I have that much when I have chips. But when the Five Guys level of salt, that's the level of salt I'm talking about, and that's the level for me. So I'd probably get Nando's in there as well. What else do I like to eat? I would say it's going to have to be some Italian food, because, you know, if I could eat anything every single day non-stop, if it didn't matter about health and fitness, and I wasn't trying to watch my waistline, which I actually am, fucking hell, I would eat that dessert from Heavenly Desserts every single day. Literally every single day, I would love to eat that. And my other favourite food, apart from desserts in general, but that American waffles numero uno, is pizza. I would pizza every single day. I think Domino's and stuff like this, I think they're a franchise. I think Papa John's is a franchise. I'm pretty sure Papa John's is a franchise. But would I want one of those pizzas every day? If we weren't taking health and fitness into account, yes, I would. But since we're living in reality, hopefully, and I've just, I don't know, hit the millions and millions jackpot, and I'm getting franchises in my not so humble abode, I'd probably have to go for a healthier style of pizza, so I'd like some kind of Italian restaurant going on. Out of all the franchises, I can only think of chain examples, like I think Bella Italia is a franchise, Zizzy is a franchise as far as I'm aware. And out of all of these, I am going to choose Zizzy, even though the chips are not good, but it's okay because we've got Nando's on the backup. Zizzy. Is it Zizzy or is it Pizza Express? I get confused. One of them doesn't even do normal chips. They only do, like, is it called polenta chips, where it's made out of corn? And no thank you, I'm sorry, what are we doing? I am from Rotherham, and this is not a real thing. I'm not going to order it, okay? And I'm going to be disappointed that your menu is just, you don't have the right things, okay? It's like if you go to a pizza place and you can't order chips, I'm thinking, what are we doing? So I don't even necessarily need to order them. I just need to see them on the menu and know that they are actually there in case I want some. And we're with a load of English people. Everybody wants chips most of the time. We make chip sandwiches. It's just carbs and then stick some carbs in and some more carbs below. Ooh, wow. Isn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter about the chips at this pizza restaurant, because I can get the chips from Nando's, cooked properly, please. And then I'll get the pizza from Zizzy. They also do, and I'm a breadman. I've told you this. You don't even understand how much I love bread. I go to the bread aisle in the supermarket and just look at it and think, fucking hell, that's good. I like all different types of bread. Zizzy do this thing, little soul breads. Yes, please. They are for the soul. They're so fucking nice. They're so nice. It's it's kind of like, you know, like these places they do like dough balls. It's like that, but it's not dough ball shaped. It's like, it's a slightly different shape and it's cooked slightly differently. But basically it's dough balls, but also it's slightly different. And it's just so soft and so succulent and so sumptuous. And all, it's just so fucking good. Okay. I don't remember the desserts that says being good, but it's okay because we've got Heavenly on the old backup. Is that 5? I said Subway, Anytime Fitness, Nando's, Heavenly Desserts, and Zizzy, didn't I? Okay, powerful. Next question. Melanie Vidler asks, who is the younger lady in relation to King Tut? You dare to challenge my knowledge. Ancient Egypt is one of my nerd pleasures and indulgences. If there's an Ancient Egypt documentary online, your man's watched it. Your man's watched it twice. Not even all the ones with the facts, also all the ones with all the conspiracy facts. If you know another thing about me as well, I love a good conspiracy. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist and I don't believe in many conspiracies, but some of them sometimes turn out to be true. And I like to know, but I don't know. I find all opinions and possible realms of experience interesting. So I love a good conspiracy. And an Egypt conspiracy. Now we're flirting. Okay, if you come at me with ancient Egypt conspiracies. And this is not one. This is a real thing. What's the question? Melanie says, who is the younger lady in relation to King Tut? King Tut is King Tutankhamen, isn't it? Young King of Egypt, probably the most famous. There's some King Tut conspiracies as well about old Howard Carter, the discoverer, and whether it was real or not. But the younger lady, if I remember correctly, is referring to a mummy that was found in the Valley of the Kings, where all the mummies are buried. When, contrary to common knowledge, people think that the pyramids were tombs, and maybe, but there's never been any single mummy found in any single pyramid ever. All the mummies are buried, all the kings and queens and all this kind of business, in the Valley of the Kings. In there, I think it was definitely Amenhotep. It was either the second or the third, and I'm going to vote for second. In Amenhotep's tomb, there was a mummy in another side room, and they thought, oh, who's this? Did some DNA testing. Turned out to be Tutankhamun's mother, who's like related to them, Amenhotep's, and then it's her, and then it's King Tutankhamun. Use your syllables, sir. So that's who the younger lady. You dare to challenge my Egyptian knowledge? And I'm not even really big into this king and that king and pharaoh this and who did that. I'm more like ancient architecture. I'm more interested in like the pyramids and how they were built and all the stone statues and stuff like that. Not really. Don't know why. That's just me. What's the next question? Question 4. Matt Watson says, would you rather fight... This is a ridiculous question, sir. And I've picked these questions, by the way, semi at random. I've just sort of scrolled down and just picked a few at random. I'm going to get to all of them. I'm going to literally get to all of the questions because we're going to have more episodes. This is going to be great. Some of these questions are fucking ridiculous, and this is one of them. Would you rather fight one horse-sized Conor McGregor, one of the, probably the most famous, pretty much definitely the most famous, one of the best ever mixed martial arts fighters, one of the toughest guys on earth? Would I rather fight one of him the size of a horse? He probably is the same. How tall's a horse? He might be the same height as a horse that way, or do you mean like if a horse stands up? Is it a massive Conor McGregor or is it a relatively normal sized Conor McGregor? I don't know how we're doing the comparison of this volume and would have liked more flipping information, sir. Or would I rather fight one of them? Let's assume it's a big Conor McGregor, a bit bigger than normal, or 5 Conor McGregor-sized horses. Is that assuming small horses? Because I can't really tell which is bigger. It depends which way you're looking at it. And both of these sound awful. Conor McGregor, if I fought the normal-sized version of him, never mind the big-sized version of him, would knock me unconscious within 5 seconds at will in any of a numeration of ways that he pleases. He'd just stand sideways and do this karate bouncing thing that he does, and then whoop, that'd be it. Just one flipping Bruce Lee whip to the chin, or the foot. The ziffot uppercut comes up. You don't even see from where. Gets you in the face. That's it. You're down. I'm down. Of course I'm down. With his flipping Irish ancestral anger and his potato famine hatred for the English. He finishes off flipping professional, world-class other fighters, people who are trained to defend, not me. He finishes them off in 5 seconds, never mind me. Or 5 slightly small horses. I'm scared of horses, you know. This is a true story. Once when I was a child, I was riding my bike and a horse came up behind me. And I looked behind and thought, what? And tried to pedal really fast. And then it bit me on the back, left like teeth marks in my back. I fell off the horse, started crying. My father came over, scared it away because we were riding bikes. I don't know why we were in a horse field. And you don't remember all the details of all the memory. I just remember the trauma from the horse. And now every time I'm near a horse, I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, sorry. Every single time, I swear to God. And if a horse kicks you, you can definitely die, can't you? They've got strong bites to start with, and they can probably whack you with the head if they wanted to, but they also do that turning round kicking thing. In fact, there's an exercise, isn't there, called donkey kickback, and it's literally where you, with your foot backwards. I don't know, it depends who's going to be the most ruthless as well. If I go down, is Conor McGregor going to carry on? Is there a ref to take him off? You know, how angry is he? How much does he dislike me? What are the horses going to do? If I go down, am I going to get stamped? I'd be tempted. Just neither's good. I'm probably going to die in both situations. If I had to pick one, I might take my chance against the horses. 5 small horses, I might take my chance against them. Conor McGregor could definitely kill me. There's a 0% possibility otherwise. He'd just do his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu magic on me as well if he wanted to. Definitely he is trained to whoop people. The horses, I don't know if they've ever killed a man. Have they ever been locked in mortal combat with a gentleman such as I? Maybe they're less trained. They definitely have less weapons. They've got bite, headbutt, kick, and probably front flail, don't they? Conor McGregor's got 200 different ways of, you know. So I'd probably take my chance against the horses. Next questions, where are we? Yes. Oh, I love this question. Ella Swinley-Harmston. Now, this is a lady definitely looking for bad advice. She's asking a bald man for hair advice. Come on now, let's be sensible. This is the point of the video though, so thank you, I appreciate this question. A lady definitely looking for terrible advice says, I've had straight hair all of my life until I became pregnant. Now it's kind of wavy curly. Is that a thing? I mean, it must be a thing, because clearly this is a thing, because this has happened to this lady, but I didn't know this was a thing. Now I can do pregnancy nutrition, definitely, and pregnancy exercise, pregnancy health and fitness. Pregnancy hairstyles, or in fact any other hairstyles, are not exactly my thing. She says, I have no idea how to look after curly hair. I mean, well, you've come to the right place. Thanks for asking. I also don't know anything about hair. Of course I don't know anything about hair. But I do have 4 sisters and a mother. And I have lived with most of these at the same time at some points in my life when I was younger. So I've seen a lot of hair. Okay, I've seen hair in my time. So I kind of know that if you have hair, you should go to the hairdressers, probably. How often? I don't know. Maybe every 1 to 2 months? Something like this? I don't know. However much you find it appropriate. Or ask them, as long as they're trustworthy, depending on how much business they want, hey. Although, from talking to ladies, hairdressers always seem busy and it always seems very hard to get appointments. So maybe book in advance. I think number 2, you probably need to get the correct shampoo. Do you? There probably is curly haired shampoo. Is it a placebo? Is it fake? Are all the shampoos the same? I don't know. I mean, do you know? We don't know, do we? We don't know if actually the curly and the straight haired shampoo is even a thing. Does it make a difference? Leave on comments. I mean, is it a placebo? How? I don't know what they do, but probably hedge your bets, probably take your chances, probably get a curly haired shampoo. And I think, and this is real advice, I think if you've got curly hair, you should use not a normal style hairbrush, but a wide tooth comb. Is that true or is that not true? Leave on comments. I just seem to remember that seems to be advice. Is it? Anyway, what other questions do we have? Ashley McAnearney asks, do you think sinks are better with separate taps or one singular one in the middle? This is easy. It's not the 1700s, is it, sir? Do we live in the 1700s? 2 separate taps is awful because you can't choose what heat or temperature of water you want, can you? You either get freezing or you get boiling to death. And I hardly ever want freezing or boiling to death, especially usually. in my experiences, these separate ones are usually in bathrooms and kitchens, sorry. Usually in the kitchen, they have the doubly middly one where you adjust either left or right, or you do the thing, and then it becomes an appropriate temperature, not freezing cold or burning death, is it? And what we're going to do, put the plug in the bottom and then fill the sink up. Do we live in the 1700s? Sorry. It has to be the middle tap where you can choose. The only time it doesn't matter is if you want a freezing cold drink out of that particular tap, then all right. The rest of the time, you've just got to go singular. We're going combined. Andrina Massey asks, summer is better than winter. Do you agree or disagree? I've got shades on indoors. I think summer's better than winter. Firstly, I don't like skiing. I've never been skiing, but I also don't want to. I don't want to slide on wood treacherously down. I'm too old for this, you know. I used to do skateboarding, riding BMX bikes when I was younger. I'm flipping 30. I mean, some of you like skiing. More power to you. You're braver than me. I used to do snowboarding sometimes. It wasn't amazing, but also wasn't awful because I could do the skateboards. And it's not the same, but it's also slightly similar, isn't it? I don't want to do this now. Does winter have its advantages? Yes, it does. Christmas is one of them, isn't it? Snow. I think snow's beautiful. I think snow's excellent. I love it when it snows, mostly because I have nowhere to go. I can walk to the gym from where I am, and I work from home. So if it snows, I'm like, yay, this is pretty. I understand if you've got to do things, then it's not good. But shorter days, not great for me. Less sun, not preferable for me. I like it when it's warm as well. We get sun's out, guns out. Oh yes, here we go. I like eating healthy. I like holidays, don't you? We all like it when it's sunny, let's be real. Also, it's healthy, isn't it? It's good for people's mental health. You get more vitamin D. It's good all round in the summer. When it's warmer and sunnier as well, people want to eat less on average, so you might find your weight loss a bit easier. Salad seems better because you don't want to feel bloated. Easier to eat healthy, easier to be happy, easier to do your exercises, isn't it? I mean, obviously, I'm biased towards all this kind of stuff. That's always where my brain's going, but you just got to go. So you got to go summer. Got to go party. It's barely ever summer in England as well. This four seasons in England, absolute bullshit. I mean, have you ever seen of anything like 4 months to 4 seasons? Absolute bullshit in England. This is just not true, is it? It's winter for 6 months for a start. 4 or 5 months minimum, varies per year. Sometimes we get 6 months of winter. Spring is 1 month. Do not pretend. Autumn is also 1 month. Summer is also flipping 1 month, isn't it? Okay, we might have lost a few months there, so we might have to adjust things. But you know what I'm saying, don't you? You know what I'm saying. It's winter most of the time. It's spring a bit. It's autumn a bit, and it's summer a bit. We get 1 month of summer. Don't pretend. 2 months if we're lucky. 4 months. Shut up. It's never happened. When has it ever been sunny in England for 4 months without stopping? Stop it. You stop it. 4 months. Don't be silly now. All right, people, I think we're going to have to end it there because I'm going on for way too long. I can see the video's getting long. We've just got so many questions to get through. I've got a few more written down. I was going to get to a question from Michael Rhodes, my father. All right, we'll do it next time. He's even called Michael. If anybody can take the Michael, it's this man, isn't it? Anita Grant as well, asking nursing-related and health-related questions, etc. I've got questions. Thank you for asking them. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave on likes, leave on comments, let me know what you think, and ask more questions onto the post that I make, and I'll be back next time with more terrible, terrible advice.